Hi, it's Charlene from People, Their Passion and Purpose. I'm here with Larysa today. Thank you so much for joining us. Larysa has a very important message about a big change that she made and she worked very hard at in her life. And I think it's something that we can all learn from. And that's why I'm so happy that she's here with us today to share and let us know what you've done with your life and how it's changed, the
Thank you,
transformation.
Charlene. Thank you for inviting me. Thank
Yeah.
you.
So, why don't you start by telling us a little bit about how, where you are today and how you got there, how it started.
Good question.
Yeah.
Thank you, Charlene. I'll start with a little bit of my past because I was born in a middle class family in the Soviet Union when it was still Soviet Union, and my parents were engineer, and they were also Communist Party members. So and they give us this notion that all people are equal and like all in the society of communist society. And so my parents always valued institutional education and had high expectation on my sister and mine. So I graduated from school, college, like a nurse and doctor. I became pediatrician, gynecologist after. And as a as a child and a young adult, I was actually very open to my parents' mindset, my parents' values. I valued the same things, and actually I received this information unfiltered, so I didn't question it. I never questioned that this is the right things to do and we have to live on this matter, and this is was this purpose of getting education and this purpose of doing things. So and I was like this, and in some point we felt that it was unsafe to live in this country, in Ukraine, and 18 years ago we decided to immigrate to Canada. So arriving here, it was, you know, it was really, I can't say hard, and I can and I can't say hard, but actually it was our desire to move to Canada. So being far from my family and in a different society, I started questioning, am I doing right things? Am I living right life? Like, because everything I had thought was true about the society, about myself, actually turned out was almost all incorrect. And it took me many years to put myself back together again. And in the meantime, I lived all those years in a doing mode. So I survived it. I was doing things. I finished Université de Montréal. I became a nurse here. I have been employed in the hospital for almost 11 years. But I had to suppress all my feelings, all my being part, because we learned how to do things, but not how to live our lives. And so I was like, by after I realized that I was like in a functional depression. I was actually, I've never able to grieve the loss I had by leaving my country, by leaving my friends, family, and my education. Actually, because like when I entered to University of Montreal, they didn't count any credits, so I have to do from zero, 3 years of full-time education with 3 kids. It was really demanding, and all this stuff happening, and I was doing, but in some point you feel like you hit the bottom, and you understand that there is emptiness inside. So in this point, I really started questioning that my mindset, my value system is it right? Is it I'm doing right things? Because I didn't feel anything. And at the time, I didn't know that if you suppress your like bad feeling, let's say, sadness, anxiety, you also don't let your good feeling to thrill because you kind of you suppressing everything. This is the universal rules that we don't know about. So, and this, like I said, hitting the bottom, give me this thought that I should I should find something else, another source of knowledge, because my past institutional source was not enough. And I
Wow.
started searching everywhere. Yeah.
Wow. So, I mean, first of all, I just want to acknowledge you for explaining all that and putting that out there so vulnerably and so well, you know. You put together your story, you know, really well because I've spoken to you before. So, this gives everybody a pretty good idea of where you're coming from. The other thing I find interesting is that, you know, you were born into communism, and it sounds to me like you were kind of born like a box, you know, and you know, you were born to do this or do that.
Yeah.
And you know, I was born in Canada. So on the one hand, I feel so everyone, you know, in this more of a free world, I guess, you know, feels like we have a choice, like, oh, what are we going to do when we get older? And you know, we just sort of have a little bit more freedom to do what we want. I still feel like some people in any situation probably feel like they are born into a box, but coming from a communist country like that, I can't even imagine really how, you know, heavy that would be. And you don't even know what's really happening to you, you know,
Yeah.
until you go to another place. Um,
Yes.
you know, which by the way, I find really interesting too, because in some way that's why I like to travel so much, because I get to see, you know, I see other countries and I see other cultures and things like that. I wish I could study all cultures and know a lot more about everything, but I think like where we're born is so important. And you know,
And you know, while traveling, you're right, you see another culture and you actually something changed in yourself because it opens your mind to something new. Like people can see the world, the same situation in a different way. So
yeah,
for me, it was a big discovery. And I will actually tell you when it happened.
yes,
I remember now, like that one of our nursing practice we had from Université de Montréal in the hospital, and one elderly woman, she was talking to us. She was talking about her life, and she said that when I was young, my like I had an accident, and my husband and my kids like died in this accident. And she said, but I still, I was like now I'm very happy because I find the purpose of my life. And in my head, it was, oh my God, it shocked me. I said, if it was me, I would never be able to survive in this kind of circumstances. But
right,
she was able to live a long, long life and be happy. So in this point, something hit me very hard. And I said, if the person can give the different meaning on the same situation, for the same situation, so I can do the same too. It means we are not depending on the external circumstances.
right,
It means the important is the meaning we give and the experience we get from. So in this point, I think I started to question even more that it's not about what's happening around me, it's about what I get. And this is was I starting to growing up, this my power, my internal power. And we all have it. It's not
yes,
mine.
yes. Yes. So right. So it's not about what's happening outside, but it's more internal, how you accept things, how things affect you and how you react, right? It's how we react to
Exactly.
things
Exactly.
and
It's
how we make sense of things and what we want to do with that information. Do we
yeah.
want it to bring us down or do we want it to elevate us? You know, we have
Mhm.
a choice. Hard to
Yeah.
understand that choice sometimes and to accept that choice, but we do have a choice. So that's
But
what you learn.
sometimes, yes, but sometimes you don't even know what happens to you after, because when something gets in your way and it's not what you planned it to do, and you feel like, oh, this is something bad happening, but maybe a year, 2 year, 5 years later, you think, oh my God, the situation was actually blessing, because
Mhm.
we don't see all the what can happen after
Yeah,
everything. We
like
can't predict.
the repercussions
Yeah,
or the out I know
yeah.
what you mean, the
The impact of our life. So
the
we maybe
outcome.
negatively, yeah, we think it's negative outcome,
Yeah,
and the outcome will be negative, but finally it turns bad. It's the best things ever happened to you. But in the moment, if you get it negatively and you go to this wheel, you go to this vicious
yeah,
circle with negative mind, so you
right.
stay in it.
Yeah, yeah. So we always have to remember to you kind of have to like search for that
Yeah,
positive. Like, what is
exactly.
this teaching me? What is this giving me?
Yeah,
What am I gonna do with this?
yes. And
To
I learned it from
swimming.
this woman, exactly, because I said, if she can see this situation
Mm,
as the finding her purpose,
mm,
so who I am with my problem, like 3 kids, university, to tell myself that I'm like, I mean, anything. And it's, yes, actually, yes. In this point, I was still thinking that my past experience, my past life was meaningless because, like I said, they didn't count my education. I couldn't be doctor anymore. I felt like I'm a bad mother because I'm spending full time in the university and my kids needs me. So everything was bad.
mm,
But in this point, I said that there's something else should be. The situation shouldn't be like this because I see it like this,
yeah,
and this I have to give meaning myself for
mm,
what's going on, or either I'm starting a new life with a new mindset, or I'm just going down, down, down with what
right,
I think about what's happening to me.
right. Wow. Amazing. Thank you for sharing that. That's great. And so I guess what the next question would be like, so what did you do to to start looking and searching?
It's also very interesting because for me to accept that I was depressed and I actually need help, it took me many years because echo in my head of my parents' words, you're strong, you're not depressed, you're just lazy, you're like, you can do it by yourself, you don't have to tell people about your whatever happening in your life.
Mm.
All of this was like I was ruined in my, like, it was ruminating in my head.
Ruminating. Yeah, ruminating.
Ruminating, yeah.
Mm.
And in some point I like, because and also in our country back then, it was like highly stigmatizing any like mental illnesses, anything like this.
Mm.
And so it took me time to even searching for help. And by searching for help, I'm saying I was thinking about starting with psychology because while being a doctor, I was always like, I try to use the less medication that we can and work with our own power. So
Mm.
I said, I need somebody from my country or who speaks Russian to talk to. So I found like it was like parazar, but there's no such thing that's azar. So it happened to me to find psychologist who actually offered classes. And knowing me, I like learning. So I enrolled to her classes. It was online classes. And at the same time, she would give the sessions, like the teaching sessions, and she would work with us, with the student, and
Amazing.
we were working in between each other. So it helped that it like for me, it like eye opening. It was like eye opening experience because she kind of played the role of the mother I would love to have.
Mm,
like the mother who would listen. And sometimes I even pictured her. I asked advices in my head, and I got them from my own head. So it was very, very nice. And it helped me to accept my
yeah,
parents out there, because I was very angry at them by,
right.
because they taught me the wrong thing. So it was all this growing up period, like I was about in my like early 40, but still I felt like I grew up just recently. And it's okay. It's
Um,
okay.
That's funny. Well, I mean, lucky when you said par hasard, which means like by accident,
Yeah.
But was it really by accident?
Yes, because before that, I was already searching for inner power. I,
Yeah.
I did like inner engineering classes with Isha Foundation. So, and
Wow.
it was a lot of things like going on, and I think it led me to
Yeah,
where am I now?
for sure. 100%. Wow. And so when you started to learn about these things and open your mind, and so when you started to see a shift in your own mind, how did that have sort of an effect on the world around you? Did it have an effect or
You know
like,
what? A huge, huge effect.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I had like almost daily, I would have my classes or work, and I had this wow effect. I call it wow effect. When you do something like something day to day things, and you understand that, oh my God, you can see the situation from a different way. Oh, it can mean it means this or that, and you're like it opens your eyes on something new.
right.
So, and this, I love this wow effect, and it lasts until now when I like enroll to another classes and another teacher would present something else. And this is, I live with this, and I see in how it changed my life. It changed not only my life, because now I see in people their light, inner light, I would say, because like each person are unique and uh, enlightened already. It just we hide it under all this. We suppress it because we were taught, or we was born in certain situation, that we were born in certain situation that we're not allowed to show it up. So it this feeling of um, being, I can't say that being happy or I'm always happy, but at least I can choose to be happy. I can choose in some situation, yes, it makes me sad, but I give this permission to me to leave this sadness,
Mhm,
to to go through the sadness, and after I'm happy again.
mhm.
So it's
Yeah,
this kind of situation. And actually, yes, I wanted to read this three sentence I actually found in the internet, or I don't know where, or maybe one of our teacher gave it to us.
sure.
What actually also helped me to understand better the uniqueness, like we're talking about ourselves, how unique we are. But in this three sentence, it kind of it
Yeah,
gives you
pulls it all
sense to,
together.
exactly. It helped me to the kind of upload it to my DNA, I would say.
Okay, go ahead.
You are not random. Existence needs you. Without you, something will be missing, and no one will be able to replace you. And this is true, because sometimes we're talking about like fingerprint. Yes, it's this unique. Your experience of life, yes, this is unique, because nobody can have the same experience. But going through deeper and say exactly, if you don't live anymore, this place is empty, because
Mhm,
this is yours. This is only
mhm.
yours.
So having that place that's yours, that's you, um, how do you want, like, what do you want from that place? Like, what do you want um to do with that place that you've been given, that space that you've been given, that is you?
I want to go further, go deeper of knowing myself, and uh, while I'm doing it, I get, you know what, like I told you before, when we have something in us, we can see it in people around, or when
Mhm,
we like. So I more I learn about myself, more
mhm,
I can see it in the people around me, and I can put my like flashlight of on this in the
Mhm.
person, so the person will open her eyes on this too. So I feel like this is would be my uh, the right things to do for myself
Mhm.
to self, like I wouldn't call it self actualization, but going
Mhm.
to towards this and help other people. Not help, I don't like word help because people don't like when you
Guide,
say help.
guide, guide.
Guide or like just to point out, because if the person will decide by themselves if either they want to be guided or not. And if there's inner calling, I would say, and the person comes to me and asks for help,
Mhm.
I would say what I can say, and the person will take or not take. So
Mhm. Mhm.
I feel this interaction would be ideal. Yes.
And so when you say like getting to know yourself better or knowing yourself more, I don't think you're talking about what kind of pizza you like or
No,
what's your
it's
favorite
more about
color, you know, like
universal law. Yeah.
yeah. What exactly do you mean by getting to know yourself better? What does that mean to you?
For me, it's to know what I feel in certain situation, because, like I said, while suppressing this all the feelings for many many years,
Mhm.
sometimes I react automatically on certain situation. But I teach myself to stop and to feel in my body, because our body has all the answers.
Mhm.
And the body has only like, actually it's only two answers, yes or no. And if the answer is yes and something, we feel like relaxation, we feel like our body opens. But
Mhm.
if the answer is no, it's like it feels like spasm, or it feels like pressure in our body.
Mhm.
So this little reaction, like I said, sometimes I have to stop myself and feel it, because like
Mhm.
our automatic response comes faster, because
Mhm.
it's less energy consuming for our conscious,
Mhm.
and it gives like this like, dun, dun, dun. But to understand actually what is, who is me and where I'm going,
Mhm.
and I will apprehend your question, because I don't know where I'm going. This is a good question, because
Mhm.
I would, my second question would be where you're going. I do not know, because there's
Mhm.
so much things in the world I do not know yet.
Mhm.
So I cannot tell my point B. I know my point A and I know what I want. But to
Mhm.
say I want this particular output, I
Mhm.
can't.
Mhm. Yeah, sure. And I feel like with you, you know, after speaking with you a few times, it's more about just like who you are and how you live your life from day to day. And
Yeah.
I think that that's really important to share, and to open up, you know, people's minds to that. Like, how are we, s- what are we, not like what are we doing every day, but
No.
more like how are we doing it? And
It's exactly. And
right.
also,
And with
also, you know what? We are all beautiful human beings. We are not human doing. And what I, like I said, when I also, this is my kind of things to be human being.
mm-hmm,
And I want people also to get this message that it's not about what we are doing, because when we are beautiful human being, everything we are doing is right, and everything we are doing is good for the society, and we serve the society by this.
mm-hmm,
When we don't have to think about are we doing right things or not. When we are understand who we are, whatever we are doing is right.
mm-hmm. And so I imagine that this is just the way you go around your daily activities, and like you're spreading that you're spreading that message around and
Yeah.
allowing people, like, you know, like allowing people to be who they are, right?
Yes, exactly. They live their own experience, and I don't know which stage of they are in their own experience. So if they're angry, they're allowed to be angry. And even if I come with the flower and they will destroy this flower, it's okay, because
Mhm.
they decide for their lives. I
Mhm.
can only be myself, and I will treat equally any person I meet in my life, because I know who am I. I don't have to think, should I treat homeless better than rich person? No, we're all equal for the for the universe.
Hmm. Wow. Ooh. So are you taking any classes now? Like, since you're like, look
Always.
at all those books behind you. Woo.
Yeah, this is all books I love. This is all psychology. And like I said, since I learned that our internal power, like we have this power,
Mm,
inner power, so I decided that this is what I will focus on. And this is, I can, while having this for me, I can spread it.
yeah. So I interrupted you, but are you taking any classes now? I didn't hear.
Yes,
What are you
yes.
taking?
I just finished the classes about relationship to understand the deep relationship. And it was also eye-opening experience for me because our teacher was talking about harmony in the relationship, let's say a marriage. And we assume that harmony, if the other person doing something that what I want him to do, but
Mm-hmm.
she explained it that harmony is actually this is your vibration you send, this person receives, and he answers on your vibration. So everything is coming from you. And when you change yourself, this person will change also. So this is the notion of harmony in the relationship.
Oh, interesting.
I was shocked. I
It's
was
a little
and
hard to understand
I
because there's two people in the relationship. So
yeah.
I don't know, that's a little, I have to think about that more. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
it's actually depends on you. Like no, it's actually talking about harmony. If
Yeah,
your relationship is not as you want it to be, it means you have to. But it's actually you live in harmony because you get what you spread.
right,
This is the harmony notion. But if you want to change this, if you want it as you wish, so be this person
right.
you wish this person reacts to.
Right, exactly. So I've learned that over the years. Like if you want something to change, it's you that has to change. It's not the other person. Has nothing to do with the other person, really, in a way,
Exactly.
even though that's hard to understand. But
Yes.
and what kind of books are you reading? We have a few minutes left, so let's just like
Okay.
share some of your books or what have you been reading lately?
I was while I was working in child psychiatry, it was more about écoute ton corps, les Bordeaux. But you know what? Actually, I would suggest to everybody
Yes.
five love languages. Five love languages. It was also one of my favorite five languages of children
Oh.
and of teenagers. And
Oh,
I understood myself better and my kids, their reaction on my when I showed my love to
yeah.
them, and
Yeah,
they wouldn't react. And I said, "What's going on?" But because each person have a different love language, so
right.
it was one of my favorite. But yeah, a lot of them in Russian, and
Hey.
the other is just psychology. But like I said, from everybody, love languages. I would suggest
Oh,
definitely.
that's so nice. Okay, yeah, that's interesting. Maybe what, excuse me, but maybe one day we can get back on and we could talk about that, like the five love languages and the different ages and stages and stuff like that.
Or
That could,
maybe about relationship. When I just finished this classes, I
yeah,
wanted to upload to my DNA, and
yeah.
I will be ready to give it back because I want to practice it in my relationship and
Okay.
give it back to people after.
Okay, we're gonna do that, okay? Okay, we're
Definitely.
gonna do that. So, what would be, I mean, what you've shared with us, and I hope it's inspired me. I always get inspired when I speak to you about being able to change your mind and your DNA, like you say, put new things in your DNA. What would be like a message? You've given us many messages, but we're near the end of our time together. And what sort of message would you like to leave everybody with? And what would be a good thing to get people to start like thinking in this new way?
I would say that the biggest message would be that all the answers is inside of us, are inside
Mhm.
of us, in our body. So to listen to our body, to be in tune with our body, with reaction, with subconscious reaction. Let's say if you want to give, like somebody asks you for something and you want to give answer yes because it's polite and you were taught to say yes, but listen to your body. Maybe your body is saying no.
Mhm.
So the like I said, the message is to learn how your body reacts, to
Mhm.
read your body, and to listen to your body, and all the answers are in.
And that's really fantastic. And if you have a book or something that people can look at, please let me know. Like, let us know now. But while you're thinking about that, I think that that's so important too, because that's what makes us sick too. Like, stress makes us unhealthy and gives us disease. And um, not living in alignment with how we're meant or what we're meant to do and how we're meant to live also has an effect on our health, our mental health, our physical health, you know. So that's a really good way to start, like allowing ourselves to stop and really think and get to know ourselves. I love that. Oh my God, I love that.
Yes.
Thank
And
you.
definitely how we react, because you're talking about stress, but it's always an external stress. How
Yes,
we react on it, how we take it. Are we
right,
letting it come into our body, or we're kind of learning our lessons and pass by and go continue our living?
right.
So, yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful. And did you have a book for us for that?
No, not it doesn't
Okay.
come easily to my mind, a particular book that can help everybody. I
Yeah.
would say that inner calling should be like even going to the library and take one by
Right.
one book, and one of them will be the one, the book.
Okay. Right. Yeah. So that's another way to listen to ourselves, you know, like practice by putting some books in front of you and then just picking one and know that that's the right one, you know?
Yeah, and open any pages and it will
Right.
give you answer.
Right. Wow, that's amazing. Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Charlene, for
That was
inviting me.
amazing.
It was amazing. I liked it. Thank
Yes, I love talking with you. So we'll do the relationship thing.
Yes, any like
Okay.
whatever comes to your mind,
We're
tell me.
gonna
I will prepare some
We're gonna
information.
plan. Yeah. So everyone, I hope you enjoyed this talk with Larysa. It's just like the tip of the iceberg, just to give you some inspiration to open up your mind to getting to know yourself better and digging a little bit deeper every day. And the more we do that, the more our our world can be a better place because we will be better. So if we're better,
Yes,
the world will
it
be
starts
better,
with us.
right?
Yes,
Okay.
it's
Thank you,
always.
everyone. Another episode of People, Their Passion and Purpose. I will definitely see you very soon. Thanks.
Thank you.